Deep in the jungle, a massive hollow tree trunk offers a natural fortress. The explorer assesses the interior space, realizing its potential as a hidden sanctuary. Carrying wooden planks, he scales the bark and carves a precise square doorway, pulling the custom-fit wooden door shut from the inside. He completely vanishes into the shadows. This is not merely finding shelter, but establishing an impenetrable stronghold in the wild. Thick vines block the ascent. Drawing his heavy machete, the explorer begins a relentless assault on the dense undergrowth. Every powerful strike clears a massive swath of obstacles, turning an impassable wall into a navigable path. Sweat soaks his clothes, yet his gaze remains locked on the canopy above. He is not just hacking through vegetation, but carving out his own lifeline in a hostile environment. Each swing demands physical exertion, draining his energy while sharpening his resolve to press forward against nature's stubborn resistance. Reaching a high vantage point, he pauses to survey the cleared path behind him. The surrounding environment remains hostile. He has successfully carved a route through the dense wilderness. Turning back, he approaches the hollow trunk with hurried steps. He stuffs his backpack into the dark cavity before slipping inside to secure his shelter. But construction demands more resources. Stepping out with unwavering resolve, he ventures deeper into the forest to harvest raw timber. The foundation is laid, but the real labor has only just begun. Targeting a slender sapling, he delivers a decisive strike to its base. The tree falls and he swiftly drags it out, stripping away the useless branches with practiced efficiency. Shouldering the heavy timber, he navigates the slippery terrain with steady, deliberate footsteps. Back near the sanctuary, the machete reduces the long trunk into manageable segments for future use. This systematic harvesting ensures a steady supply of building materials for the impending structural work ahead. Kneeling on the makeshift platform, he secures the timber and brings a portable handsaw into action. With the final block dropping to the ground, the rough processing of the climbing steps is complete. Testing the weight of a freshly cut piece, a subtle nod of satisfaction crosses his face. Gathering the tools and planks, he ascends the slope to position them right below the tree hollow. Precision and preparation dictates the safety of the ascent. Holding a wooden block in place, he drives a long steel nail deep into the bark. The echoing strikes forge a rudimentary yet functional climbing route. Once the entire staircase is assembled, he tests its rigidity by scaling the trunk with agile movements. Reaching the upper fork, he evaluates the structural support points to mount a thick crossbeam. A secure foothold is no longer a luxury, but an absolute necessity for high-altitude construction. Hoisting a lengthy bamboo pole, he wedges it precisely against the cantilevered end. Using his own body weight and a heavy pole as a ram, he compacts the vertical posts deep into the soft mud. Laying the second crossbeam and piercing both layers with long nails, the main framework achieves a closed structural loop. Descending to the ground, the newly built staircase bears his weight without a single tremor. This is not merely stacking wood, but engineering a resilient platform in the wilderness. Lugging a heavy damp plank to the clearing, he begins a meticulous sorting process. Rotten wood is discarded, leaving only the solid intact boards neatly stacked. Pinning a plank down with his foot, he guides the handsaw along the marked line. The final stroke snaps the wood cleanly, and he inspects the cross-section for quality. Selecting the right materials is the silent prerequisite for a durable shelter. Shouldering the long wooden planks, he carefully navigates the narrow log bridge and ascends the rustic wooden steps. Upon reaching the elevated platform, he lays the boards flat across the existing crossbeams, meticulously adjusting each one to ensure perfect alignment and stability. Viewed from below, the tightly arranged floorboards effectively block out the gaps, creating a solid surface. Setting aside his saw, he picks up a slender bamboo rod and a sharp knife to measure and mark the precise height on the main trunk. Every careful measurement taken here will dictate the structural integrity of the upcoming interior floor. Swapping the measuring rod for a heavy axe, he delivers forceful blows to the marked bark. A deep cavity quickly forms, providing a solid recess for the main beam. To ensure a flawless fit, he switches to a small handsaw for meticulous trimming along the upper edge. The saw bites into the horizontal line, slicing through the bark with rhythmic precision. This is not just rough chopping, but a calculated integration of the new structure into the living tree. The process demands both brute strength and delicate control, transforming raw timber into a functional architectural element. Each cut serves a purpose, bridging the gap between natural form and human design. Following the sod groove, he hacks fiercely with a small axe to loosen the central wood. The square block collapses inward, revealing the dark interior and bringing a rare smile to his face. Clearing the splintered edges, he leans into the hollow to verify the spatial transparency. Having secured the new opening, he swiftly descends the half-log staircase, disappearing from view as the barrier between the wild exterior and the safe interior is finally breached. He shoulders a long round timber and climbs the tree ladder with steady steps, hauling the essential supports up to the high platform. Using a slender green branch as a makeshift gauge, he probes deep into the hollow to measure the diameter, determining the precise length required for the crossbeams. He then slides 2 cut support poles into the cavity, attempting to span them securely across the inner walls. With a forceful push, the wooden rods lock tightly into the carved grooves. The internal skeleton is now firmly set, ready to bear the heavy weight of the future living quarters above. He slides the first wide plank onto the support rods, adjusting its position. Inside, he stomps the floor to test stability. Using a long pole, he maps the perimeter, planning the roof framework. On the deck, he lifts around logs spanning it across the opening to secure the structure. Gathering the carefully smoothed planks, he moves toward the tree hollow to test their precise fit upon the beam frame. High within the canopy, he extracts iron nails from his belt and drives them home with rhythmic, resonant strikes that echo through the woods. Inside the cavity, he kneels to lay the floorboards in tight formation, hammering each nail head until it sits perfectly flush with the wood surface. Upon securing the final piece, he rises, brushes off the lingering sawdust, and gazes into the distance. This marks a definitive structural milestone for the base. Kneeling on the ground, he pulls the yellow handsaw with force, generating a steady stream of white wood chips. The cut pieces are swiftly assembled into a door frame, fitting the tree hollow's opening with seamless precision. Pulled back and forth like a camera shutter, the door guarantees absolute privacy within the dark interior. Finally, he carefully nails a small wooden block in the center as a handle. This is not just a simple piece of wood, but the vital boundary that separates his private sanctuary from the untamed wild outside. Heaving a massive curved vine onto his right shoulder, he maintains his balance and climbs up the shallow grooves carved in the trunk. Gripping the heavy hammer, he pins the core of the vine firmly to the wooden post. After driving in the very last nail, he shakes the thick vine to confirm it can bear an adult's weight. This natural handrail serves as the final safety defense, completing the structural loop of the treehouse base. The arduous task of reinforcing the structure is now complete, ensuring stability for future use. With deliberate care, he sweeps away the accumulated dried leaves and scattered bark debris, clearing the wooden platform of all construction remnants. Picking up his camouflage backpack, he steps into the sheltered living area within the tree hollow, establishing this space as his home. Settling onto the earth and floor, he unscrews his canteen cap and takes several measured sips, calmly surveying the surrounding forest. Before long, he positions himself beside the soil slope at the platform's edge, gripping a sharpened wooden stake to begin excavating the compact earth below. This quiet transition marks the beginning of his transformation from builder to established inhabitant. He arranges 3 stones in a deliberate tripod formation, pressing each one down firmly to test their stability as a makeshift pot stand. A black picnic pot is then placed atop this rocky foundation, marking the initial completion of his outdoor kitchen setup. Beneath the structure, chopped, dry firewood is stacked with precision inside the earthen pit, ensuring ample ventilation for efficient combustion. With careful intent, he strikes a lighter to ignite thin strips of bark and dry grass, tucking these fledgling flames beneath the woodpile to nurture the fire. This meticulous process signals a profound transition from raw survival instincts to the comforts of civilized cooking in the wild. As the newborn flames dance, he blows gently to feed them oxygen, turning the thick smoke into a roaring fire. Pouring clear water from the kettle into the pot, white steam soon rises from the boiling surface. Tearing open a packet of instant noodles, he places the noodle block into a plastic container. Lifting the aluminum pot, he slowly fills the container with the scalding broth. A simple meal in the wilderness is elevated into a moment of profound comfort. lying sideways in the hollow. He adjusts his posture to fit the cramped space. He pulls the heavy wooden door shut, that's sealing the entrance tight. As darkness falls, the treehouse base sinks into a deep and secure silence. This sanctuary is no longer mere shelter, but a true home in the wild.